In the mountains outside Los Angeles, past bending curves, up nausea-inducing twisty roads, lies a small sliver of retreat from the hustle, bustle, and constant sensory overload of city life. It's a place filled with trees and clean, thin air, where MAGA meets mountain hippies in a strange melting pot of paradoxical wonder. This little town, or maybe it's a village, or maybe it's an unincorporated community. In any case, the place's location makes for a perfect weekend getaway from LA, and one you would never believe is so close. Welcome to Idlewild. Idlewild was never really on our radar, but then one day we saw this AFrame Cabin on Airbnb, and we could audibly hear the angel's song coming through the screen. It looked magical, and it was magical, and it is magical. The simple, TV-less type of place that makes you want to become a recluse and find a plot of land and raise a cabin of your own. Your friends will think you're crazy, but when you invite them for the housewarming party, they'll realize Benny or Jeff or whatever your name is onto something. And then you'll discuss the row and the meaning of life and living purposefully. And that's actually what happened to our group. Maybe we were high on the scent of pine or inhaled too much smoke while attempting to build a fire, but our minds were free and we were at ease. It was serenity. But before we get to this, there's other excitement to share. One weekend in early March, my fiancée Allie and I traveled from Los Angeles to Idlewild with some friends for a weekend stay in a cabin. We went through Hemet to take the 74, which was windy for the final several miles. It was filled with switchbacks and nary straight paths. It's not terrible, but motion sickness pills won't hurt. Plus, there's some pull-offs in case you need to take a break. Despite the twisty roads, this route is supposed to be better than the death trap that is the other route, which takes the 243 from the north of Idlewild. But if you do end up taking the 243, just take it easy.
If you want to live.
Downtown Idlewild. Downtown might be a stretch. The area where all this stuff is located is cute and condensed, surrounded by rocky mountain peaks. You can see most of it in this quick pan. There are some restaurants, an inn, a grocery store, a liquor store, a library, a gun shop where you can buy machetes, a couple of ice cream joints, an Argentine bank, a small movie theater, and a divine chocolate store called El Buen Cacao. This single-origin, organic, naturally jungle-grown chocolatier is authentic and passionate about making chocolate. Be sure to try the hazelnut, and the caramel, and the truffles, and the chocolate you can drink.
It is straight chocolate. Oh my god. It is straight chocolate.
But watch out for this guy. Once we loaded up on sugar, we were ready to conquer the physical recreation part of the trip. A hike. We found a hike on all trails for a jaunt to Suicide Rock, which, honestly, isn't as exciting as it sounds. Well, no, I mean, it was pretty nice. There were tall trees to block the sun, rushing rapids we barely crossed to safety, and these cool manzanita trees covered in red bark, which I took way too many videos of. Just a note, if you're on this hike and have a mild UTI, then you're in luck, because according to this medical journal, these leaves contain chemicals with a mildly disinfectant quality that can help with your problem. So be on the lookout for them if you have a UTI while you're hiking in Idlewild. But we never did quite figure out which rock was Suicide Rock. Was it this one? Or this one? Or this one? One weird quirk about this hike It actually goes uphill on the way back. So factoring in the uphill climb plus the thin air at 6,000 feet above sea level, the loop back was basically a struggle.
Oh, Sam, I can't recall the taste of food.
Post-hike, we went back to our comfort zone, eating. We ended up at an aggressively gnome-laden restaurant with outdoor dining. We ate and drank beer as we rested from hours of exertion. Then we hit up the grocery store to stock up for more eating. Then we finally retreated to the cabin, our fortress of group solitude. A beautiful A-frame built in the 70s, surrounded by rising trees, fronted by an expansive deck that lets you feel among them. In the back of the house, there's a hammock so you can lie in contemplation of the quiet surrounds, a covered shed for wood, the longest saw known to man. Inside is a quirky mid-century melange, a place where you won't mind the wood paneling. It feels as if the outdoors was brought in, with pieces like this tree stump coffee table and goat head. It's a great way to feel like you're with the nature without being in the nature. The ideal state for those who can't survive the camping life, like myself. There's a classic Smeg fridge, heat, a fireplace, stove, a skylight that opens with the press of a button. All the modern comforts you need. The place was also covered with interesting toys and figurines that ordinarily would feel weird, but here, they felt right. We sat and talked and listened to ukulele while barely checking our texts or Instagrams or emails. You may think this is a trivial feat, but keep in mind we're talking about a group of Los Angelinos.
I told you to turn that off.
I did turn it off, but this is the emergency line. This is the bat line, baby.
Do you need to get that?
I do need to take this,
No,
yes.
he doesn't.
I imagine this must be what Lewis and Clark did on their journey west. Free from the societal pressures of responding to telegrams or letters from hounding work associates. They probably also cooked filet mignon and struggled to build a proper fire just like we did. When the night was over, there were only the simple joys left to offer their worldly pleasures to us.
When you're sober in the morning and be like, why am I filming this?
So if you're looking for a getaway where you can connect with nature or find yourself, or maybe just experience a few days unbound by technology, then check out Idlewild. Just be prepared for the never-ending desire to return to that lush place so filled with quiet and endless opportunity for discovery.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!
Is this clock even moving? Oh yeah, it is. Just got a great shot of you eating that food.
Oh no.
The flaming hot Cheetos are in the shot. I'm gonna take one.
Hey, should we get a selfie of the four of us?
Sure.
Yeah. Who has the longest arm?
Wait, we're not done. Sizzle, you can see.
They were using
Whoa. No, I can't handle that.